Have you ever walked through a crowd and felt completely alone? Have you ever looked in the mirror and realized you didn't fully know the person staring back? We spend our lives traveling the world, chasing sights, achievements, and approval. But the most dangerous, the most revealing, and the most rewarding journey is the one within. Most people live their lives avoiding the parts of themselves they don't understand, fearing the silence of their own minds. We fill our days with noise, distraction, and constant movement, hoping to outrun the questions that dwell quietly within. But the truth is, the journey within is both the most dangerous and the most rewarding path a human being can take. It's dangerous because it requires courage to face what we've been conditioned to ignore. It's rewarding because it's the only path that leads to true self-awareness, resilience, and transformation. To walk this path is to confront the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are, the fears, the desires, the unresolved pain, and the buried strengths. It's not comfortable and it's not safe, but it is necessary. The danger lies in honesty. Looking inward forces you to examine the stories you tell yourself, the excuses you cling to, and the ways you hide from your own potential. It exposes the areas where you've compromised, where you've silenced your instincts, and where fear has dictated your choices. That confrontation can be unsettling, even frightening. It requires admitting that you are sometimes your own barrier, that the chains you feel may have been self-imposed, and that the growth you've been waiting for starts with you, not the world around you. Avoiding this inner work is easy, but it leaves you trapped in cycles of frustration, self-doubt, and stagnation. Facing yourself, on the other hand, is where real power begins to emerge. Reward comes when you lean into that discomfort rather than shy away from it. It comes when you stop running from your reflection and start listening to it. Every fear you face, every truth you accept, and every shadow you acknowledge becomes a step forward on this journey. The process is gradual and often nonlinear, but with each moment of self-reflection, you build resilience and clarity. You begin to recognize patterns in your behavior, understand your deepest motivations, and make conscious choices rather than reactive ones. This awareness is a form of strength that no external achievement or accolade can replicate. It's the quiet confidence of knowing who you are and why you do what you do. Being a traveler of inner mysteries is not about seeking perfection or immediate answers. It's about curiosity, patience, and courage. It's about asking hard questions and sitting with answers you might not like. It's about understanding that the journey itself, with all its uncertainty and discomfort, is what shapes you. Every challenge faced internally becomes a lesson. Every fear confronted becomes a source of empowerment, and every insight gained becomes a tool for navigating life with authenticity and purpose. Ultimately, the inner journey is the foundation for all other journeys. It teaches self-reliance, discernment, and emotional strength. It allows you to navigate the external world with clarity because you've first learned to navigate yourself. The path may be lonely at times, and it may demand courage you didn't know you had, but the rewards are profound. The most dangerous journey often leads to the most extraordinary discoveries. When you face yourself, embrace your truths, and explore the depths of your own mind and heart, you realize that there is no greater adventure than the one that lies within. True self-discovery demands that we embrace uncertainty and confront the questions we often avoid. Life constantly tempts us with easy answers, distractions, and external validations, but the most profound growth comes starting with discomfort and asking the hard questions. Who am I really? What do I want and why? What am I afraid to admit about myself? These questions are not simple. They do not have immediate answers. They force us to face the contradictions within, the parts of ourselves we have hidden, ignored, or denied. To embrace uncertainty is to accept that you do not have control over every outcome, that not everything in life will make sense immediately, and that the answers may evolve as you evolve. It is uncomfortable, and yet it is necessary because the inner journey does not reward avoidance. When you ask hard questions, you create the conditions for deep self-awareness. The process is not linear, nor is it neat. There will be moments of clarity and moments of confusion, moments when you feel empowered and moments when fear grips you. But each step, each inquiry is a way of mapping your inner landscape. Your doubts are not weaknesses, they are signals pointing to areas that need attention, reflection, or courage. Your instincts are not random impulses, they are compass points guiding you toward your truth. By treating your inner questions as guides rather than threats, you start to see uncertainty not as something to fear, but as a terrain to navigate. Embracing uncertainty also teaches resilience. When you stop seeking guarantees, you stop being paralyzed by outcomes and start acting in alignment with your values. You learn that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward in spite of it. You start to understand that growth often requires risk and that the path to self-mastery is paved with moments of vulnerability, doubt, and trial. Each difficult question you face strengthens your ability to make choices that are authentic, intentional, and grounded in self-knowledge rather than external expectation. This process transforms how you interact with the world. When you are comfortable sitting with your own uncertainty, you no longer need constant validation or reassurance from others. You begin to make decisions based on your own insight, intuition, and moral compass. You become less reactive and more deliberate. The hard questions you've asked yourself cultivate patience, empathy, and wisdom. Qualities that cannot be borrowed or faked. They emerge only from the process of honest introspection and courageous self-examination. Ultimately, embracing uncertainty and asking hard questions is not a one-time act. It is a lifelong practice. It is the core of being a traveler of inner mysteries. It requires humility to accept what you do not know, courage to face what you fear, and persistence to continue seeking truth, even when answers remain elusive. In this journey, every challenge is an opportunity, every doubt is a teacher, and every uncomfortable reflection is a doorway to growth. The deeper you travel into the unknown terrain of your own mind and heart, the more fully you discover who you are and what you are capable of. By leaning into uncertainty and confronting the questions others avoid, you begin to uncover the most valuable insights that your inner world holds, both the guidance and the strength to navigate life with authenticity, purpose, and courage. True growth and self-discovery come from understanding that our shadows are as necessary as our light. Society often teaches us to hide our weaknesses, suppress our flaws, and present only the polished version of ourselves to the world. We are encouraged to seek perfection, to conform, and to minimize the parts of us that feel uncomfortable or inconvenient. Yet, it is precisely these shadows, our fears, regrets, mistakes, and insecurities, that hold the keys to profound insight and strength. Ignoring or denying them does not make them disappear. It only prevents us from harnessing the lessons and resilience they carry. Shadows are not signs of weakness. They are markers of growth waiting to be acknowledged. Every flaw, every failure, every regret has a purpose. Each one tells a story about who we are and what we have endured. They are signposts along the path of personal evolution, showing where we've struggled, where we've adapted, and where we have untapped potential. To face them is not easy. It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to feel discomfort without running from it. But when we embrace our shadows instead of denying them, we begin to integrate all aspects of ourselves into a cohesive, authentic identity. This integration is where true power resides. It is the point at which our vulnerabilities become sources of wisdom and resilience rather than shame and limitation. The process of confronting our shadows teaches us empathy and self-compassion. We recognize that everyone carries hidden struggles, and this recognition allows us to relate to others with greater understanding. By accepting our own darkness, we are less likely to judge or fear the darkness in others. In doing so, we cultivate a deeper connection to the human experience, understanding that strength is not the absence of struggle, but the capacity to endure and grow through it. Shadows, then become not just personal tools for growth, but bridges to richer relationships and more meaningful connections with the world. Moreover, acknowledging shadows empowers us to make conscious choices. When we are aware of our weaknesses, we are better equipped to manage them. When we understand our fears, we are better prepared to act despite them. This self-awareness allows us to harness our inner resources strategically, transforming what once held us back into fuel for progress. Shadows illuminate the areas where we have resisted growth, and by walking into them instead of avoiding them, we gain mastery over ourselves. The strength that emerges from this process is authentic because it is born of confrontation and acceptance, not denial or avoidance. Ultimately, the journey of embracing shadows is about wholeness. The light and dark within us are inseparable. One cannot exist without the other. To seek only light is to live incompletely. To accept both is to live fully and courageously. Shadows are not obstacles to overcome. They are essential companions on the path to self-realization. By seeing them, understanding them, and integrating them, we discover that our true power lies not in perfection, but in the courageous acknowledgement of who we truly are. The traveler of inner mysteries learns this truth. The parts of ourselves we fear the most often contain the greatest sources of insight, strength, and transformation. The most profound lesson a traveler of inner mysteries can learn is that true discovery is not external, it is internal. Many people spend their lives chasing experiences, achievements, recognition, and validation from the outside world, believing that happiness or success resides in what they can acquire, accomplish, or impress others with. We fill our schedules, collect accolades, and chase milestones, thinking that fulfillment lies in the next goal, the next promotion, or the next adventure. Yet, no amount of external accomplishment can replace the clarity, wisdom, and peace that come from understanding oneself. The deepest discoveries are not about places we visit, people we impress, or things we acquire. They are about uncovering the truths, strengths, and complexities that reside within us. External validation is fleeting because it depends on circumstances and the opinions of others. What the world admires today, it may disregard tomorrow. This creates a constant cycle of chasing approval, a loop that never truly satisfies. In contrast, internal discovery is enduring. It offers insight into who we are, what we value, and how we respond to challenges. By focusing on the inner landscape, we learn to trust ourselves, to act in alignment with our authentic values, and to navigate life from a place of self-awareness rather than reaction. The external world may change, but the understanding of one's inner self becomes a compass that guides decisions, actions, and purpose with consistency and resilience. This journey inward also cultivates independence and self-reliance. When you are deeply connected to your inner world, you no longer rely on others for approval or direction. You understand that your worth is inherent and not contingent upon accolades, praise, or attention. This realization is liberating because it shifts the locus of control from the external environment to the self. The traveler of inner mysteries knows that while external circumstances may challenge, distract, or tempt, the foundation of strength and clarity lies within. Self-knowledge becomes a stabilizing force, allowing you to navigate uncertainties and adversity with poise, confidence, and adaptability. Furthermore, the internal journey sharpens discernment. When you know yourself, your values, desires, fears, and patterns, you are better equipped to make choices that serve your growth rather than merely satisfy momentary impulses or societal expectations. You become adept at identifying opportunities that align with your purpose and avoiding distractions that derail your progress. The wisdom gained from internal exploration provides a framework for decision making that external advice or trends can rarely offer. It allows you to engage with the world intentionally rather than reactively, transforming your interactions, relationships, and achievements into extensions of your authentic self. Ultimately, the most meaningful discoveries are hidden within. The traveler of inner mysteries learns that while the world can offer experiences, lessons, and challenges, The greatest treasures are the truths found in the quiet spaces of the mind and heart. External accomplishments and recognition may fade, but the understanding of one's inner world endures and empowers. By turning inward, we gain insight, clarity, and resilience, tools that allow us to live authentically, navigate complexity, and create a life rooted in purpose rather than expectation. The inner journey is not a detour from life. It is the path that makes all other journeys richer, more intentional, and profoundly transformative. The journey of self-discovery and personal growth is not only about understanding strengths or confronting fears. It is about cultivating the tools necessary to navigate the complexity of life with clarity and courage. Courage, honesty, and patience are the essential instruments of the traveler of inner mysteries, guiding every step into the unknown depths of the mind and heart. These qualities are not innate, they are developed through practice, reflection, and a willingness to engage with the uncomfortable truths that reside within. They allow us to face uncertainty, acknowledge our limitations, and embrace the ongoing process of becoming. Without these tools, the inner journey can feel overwhelming or aimless. But with them, it becomes transformative and empowering. Courage is the first and most critical tool. It is the willingness to confront what we fear, to look into the mirror of our soul and admit truths we might prefer to avoid. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. It allows us to explore the parts of ourselves that are messy, vulnerable, or painful. Every shadow confronted and every difficult truth acknowledged strengthens this courage, building a foundation of resilience that extends far beyond the inner journey. Courage empowers us to make choices aligned with our authentic selves, rather than bending to external pressures or expectations. It transforms hesitation into action and doubt into opportunity. Honesty is the companion of courage. To explore our inner mysteries, we must be brutally honest with ourselves about who we are, what we feel, and what we want. This requires acknowledging both our light and our shadow, our achievements and our failures, our strengths and our vulnerabilities. Honesty strips away the illusions and pretenses we maintain to comfort ourselves or appease the world. By facing ourselves truthfully, we gain clarity about our motives, desires, and limitations. This clarity is the compass that guides our decisions, helping us navigate life with integrity and alignment. Without honesty, courage risks becoming reckless, and the inner journey risks becoming misguided. Patience is the third, often overlooked tool. The inner journey is rarely linear, and growth does not happen overnight. There will be setbacks, doubts, and moments of frustration. Patience allows us to endure these challenges without giving up or becoming discouraged. It teaches us to trust the process and recognize that transformation unfolds over time, often in ways that are subtle and incremental. Patience encourages persistence, self-compassion, and resilience, providing the steady rhythm that sustains the traveler even when progress feels slow or invisible. Together, courage, honesty, and patience create the framework for navigating the unknown terrain of our own minds and hearts. They equip us to face uncertainty with confidence, embrace our flaws with compassion, and persist in the pursuit of self-understanding despite difficulty. These tools are not just useful for introspection, they extend into every area of life, enhancing relationships, decision-making, and personal fulfillment. Ultimately, the traveler of inner mysteries discovers that these tools are indispensable. They are the means by which we transform fear into strength, confusion into clarity, and struggle into growth. The deeper we explore our inner world with courage, honesty, and patience, the more empowered we become to live authentically, act intentionally, and navigate life with purpose. In mastering these tools, we realize that the greatest journey we will ever take is the one that leads inward, and the most powerful resources we possess are the qualities we cultivate along the way.